Hey everybody. So I just wanted to start off by reading this thing that I wrote today. Actually, a picture popped up. This picture right here. Oh, okay, there we go. That's me and my nephew, and it was the day I first got out of the military and moved to San Diego. And I'm gonna read what I put here. It'll be a nice starting point to talk about. So 7 years ago, I got out of the military and moved in with my sister and her family in San Diego. It was a dark and difficult time for me. I was jobless and scared about the future. I didn't qualify for unemployment, and I wasn't yet receiving any veterans benefits. The GI Bill housing allowance wouldn't come until 2 years later. I'd always been frugal, so it wasn't hard to implement my advice for anyone in this situation. Spend nothing outside of the essentials and reconsider what you consider essential. Though I was in a much better situation than most in these circumstances, having saved half my income the last 4 years I was in, leaving with investments worth 150,000. I couldn't fall back on that money to quote fund my lifestyle. Uh, I would act as if that money weren't there and lived within my means, which had suddenly dropped to zero. A couple of years prior, when I still had a good income, I had set the goal of reaching a million by 40, a million, like $1 million net worth. My circumstances had changed at that point, but the goal had not. I wasn't sure how I was going to do it, but I'd figure it out. Now, I have the worst luck with jobs, like with employment. I just cannot find a job. It was like that before I joined the military. It was like that after I got out of the military, and it's like that right now. I'm kind of stuck in my current job because I just cannot find another one. Um, and it's been like that my whole life. And for the first year after I got out of the military, I used my paid off car, which is, I know I always tell everyone to, get out of debt, pay off your car. I paid mine off in under 3 years. It was a new car. It was about 20,000 Corolla. And I still have it. And I used that to drive Lyft for about a year, which is a Uber rival, right? Um, and I made about $500 a week at the time, which allowed me to continue saving since my expenses were so low, and since I almost spent nothing, right? And it took 8 months. So 8 months after I got out of the military, I finally got a break with UPS as a loader, which is a tough manual labor job where we load packages into the trucks. And they were paying me $10 an hour, so I was pulling in about $800 a month. But I was grateful for it. It was a job and it had benefits. So I was grateful for it. At the same time, I started going to school and then I quit driving for Lyft. So the UPS worked really well with my schedule. I'd go to school during the day, and then in the evenings from like 5 to 11, I'd work there. I'd work out, right? And make some money. Okay, almost done. Yeah, so my money was tight, but I had a plan and I could see a glimmer of hope. I worked really hard and became a supervisor 7 months later. My income doubled to about $2,000 a month, and I started contributing to my 401k, first 10% of my income and gradually increasing it to 35% when I saw I could meet my bills, right? And today that 401k balance is over $130,000 just from saving as much as I could into my 401k, right? That's 5.5 years, right? And this happened because I prioritized saving. No matter what my salary was, I always set money aside, part of my paycheck. And though the going was tough, I was able to pull through with a potent combination of will, hard work, and lots of luck. Now, luck isn't something you can rely on, but if you have a goal and you work towards it, you can achieve it. And many self-help gurus say that, and I never really believed it until recently, right? Anyway, I ended up reaching my goal 3.5 years early at age 36. So that's what I wrote. Questions? What would you guys like to talk about?
I don't know if it's a question, but I just feel like you probably just don't want to quit your day job, which is probably wise until you have a better one. You could probably get another job if you wanted, right?
I suppose. I mean, I've been trying for about 8 months. When the pandemic started, I was a financial analyst for UPS for about 20 months. And then when the pandemic started, I moved back to operations, and so back to the warehouse. But I kept my financial analyst hourly salary, which is quite substantial. I'm making like a third more than all the other supervisors in the warehouse. So this year I'm looking at pulling in maybe 50 or 60,000. It's not that much, based on my education and skills, but it's enough. It allows me to save, and my wife makes something, and I have little money coming in here and there. So it's I reached my goal early, and I'm sure I'll reach financial independence pretty soon as well. Okay, check it out. So this is my money file. And if anyone would like to download this, I can provide the link. So I use this to track my expenses. With a lot of this stuff I learned in school, actually, but like 75% I learned on the job doing the financial analyst position. And so this is like my expenses for the month of March. I spent a total of $3,840, not including like charity donations. And I have a slicer here that I can use to show, how it breaks down in each month, or if I wanted to do like a quarter, I could do that. Yeah, so, and this is the breakdown here. The yellow is for editing, so I can change this to anything I want, like food or whatever. But since it's already here, I have it so it turns red to show me, hey, that's not right.
Grooming is a haircut. You didn't do a lot of grooming.
Oh no, my wife cuts my hair. She actually asked me if I could please go get a haircut at this place that does it for $10. When I was in the military, I never paid more than $10 for a haircut. And
I saw that $10 there.
Huh?
I saw that $10 in December.
Oh, the grooming. Do you guys know that you can pull stock data in Excel? Oh man.
Oh, sweet.
So like over here, let me show you how to do it. Up here at data. So you would type in, for example, why is it acting up? You type in, for example, Tesla or TSLA, for example, and then you come here to the data tab and you click stocks. And that'll give you the thing that it pulls from. There we go. This one. All right, so that's that. And then if you want to see, there's all kinds of stuff. So you can do equals this dot, and it gives you a whole bunch of stuff. 52-week high, change, 52-week low, what is it? Last trade time, where is it? Anyway, here's the open, for example. Oh, the price, there we go. So currently Tesla price is $662 a share. Pretty nifty, huh?
Yeah, that is awesome.
What version of Excel are you using?
It's like 2016 or something. It's
And you didn't upload an additional package that came just
no, it came with it. Yeah, it's right here, data and stocks, data under data types. It's a later version of Excel. I know like 2003 it didn't have this, or 2013 oh no, I believe 2013 is when they first started doing this. Anyway, so there is that. And I use this also to track my like the current balance. And where did it go? Oh, I'm sorry, it's in the financial overview. Yeah, right here. So as you can see, based on, so I have some calculations going. Let's talk about FIRE, right? So this is what got me excited about saving, about like my life. I grew up poor, and then when I was a teenager, I moved to Africa, and so we were poor there too. Life was just hard, like you work until you die. That's kind of the mentality that I had. Like I didn't know anything better. But then in 2011, I believe I discovered Mr. Money Mustache, which is a financial blogger who
I love that guy.
He's great. Yeah,
I love that guy. I want to be that guy.
You still can. He became he retired at 30, and he he followed the financial independence retire early path, which says that if you have 25 times your annual expenses saved up in stocks and bonds, you can withdraw 4%. The inverse of 25 is 4%. So, so what that means is, like, if you have $1 million, you can afford to withdraw $40,000 the first year and then adjust it upwards annually for inflation. And this has worked. This method has worked 100% of the time in retirement periods of up to 33 years. Now, that being said, a lot of people who pursue this path are going to have much longer than a 33-year retirement period. So if you want something that's historically guaranteed to work even over periods of 60% or of 60 years, 3.3% is a withdrawal rate is the historically. I'm not saying that it's going to continue working like that. You know, we might get another greater depression or something, but you know, the past tends to rhyme with the future, so it's or history tends to rhyme. So I think it'll be all right. So if you're looking for an almost guaranteed retirement number that you can sit back and say, okay, I'm done. I'll be safe until I die, or even beyond. You know, because the idea of FIRE is also to help the world. You know, to make it a better place. Use your money, donate it to things you find important. So yeah, save up 30 times your income, or 30 times your annual desired spending, and you'll have enough to never have to work again. And so my FIRE percentage is 70% based on the 4% rule. It's just kind of a rule of thumb. So my what I did was I just calculated the average spending per month and multiplied it by 300, because 25 times 12, because it's 25 years times 12 is 300 months. So 25 years of expenses would give, of current expenses, about 1.3 million. And given my current net worth, I'm about 70% of the way there. And as you can see in the chart, you know, compounding kind of picks up after a while, right? This happened all, like, my net worth doubled in the last year because of Tesla and Bitcoin. Now I'm not saying that same thing's going to happen to you, but I encourage people to, if they want, you know, the simplest path is just to put it in a total market index fund, and that is what FIRE preaches, you know. But I personally took 10% of my net worth and put it into something speculative. It was small enough to where if it went to zero, it's like whatever. It's like a lottery ticket, you know. I wasted $2. Oh well. But it was also big enough to it was I think I put $18,000 total into side bets, and it was also big enough to where if it blew up, it's going to blow up. So that happened.
Barbell.
Hmm?
Barbell.
How much of that growth?
Oh yeah,
was
barbell.
Tesla?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
How much of that growth was Tesla versus cryptocurrency or Bitcoin?
Well, I put $1,000 into Bitcoin back at the beginning of 2016, so 5 years ago, and now it's worth about 120.
So what was the price when you bought it?
About 450.
Yeah.
And now it's close to 60,000. And I had no idea that would happen. You know, it was kind of a what the hell investment. You know, it's $1,000. I had like almost 200,000 at the time, so it was like,
well, as you know, the cryptos are going crazy still, and they're on a trajectory. I don't see it slowing down much since the.
I'm kind of smelling a bubble. It just feel, I wasn't around during the Beanie Baby crash, but it just hang on, two people. Give me a second. Sorry, some people.
Well, Bitcoin before went all the way up to 19,000. I had some and it crashed down to 3,000. Now it's up to 58, 59,000.
Or did you sell?
I was doing some foreign exchange trading, so
Right,
I kind of, I wish I had held on to it.
I don't consider myself smarter than the millions of participants in the market. You know, what do I know that they don't, right? So you know, like you said, I need a 9 to 5. Or who said that? Was that you, Eric?
What's that?
That I need a 9 to 5?
That was me.
David.
Oh, okay. David, yeah. Yeah, I really do need a 9 to 5. Like I grew up with so much uncertainty and I need the stability. So even though my job like sucks and it's really, it's backbreaking, you know, it's manual labor, you know, probably the only millionaire working manual labor, right? At UPS. But it's, the security, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Where was I before the?
You were showing the graph, the growth.
You're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about Tesla and how you did small bets, and if they blew up, it would make a higher amount. And then you talked about how much you originally, someone asked you a question about how much you invested in originally, and you said
Yeah.
$1,000 in the Bitcoin.
It was like right before I launched into the tangent, but anyway, it's not important. Yeah. So Eric, to your point, you were saying the barbell strategy, right?
Yeah.
So Nassim Taleb is a professor who wrote some really great books. One of them is Black Swan. Some of you might know that one. Another one is barbell strategy. That's an anti-fragile, right?
Yeah, he writes about it in a few different books.
A few different books.
Anti-fragile.
Okay. So the barbell strategy is, you know how a barbell is big on one side, narrow in the middle, and then big on the other side. So what that means is that one side of your investment portfolio is kind of conservative and safe, and the other side is super speculative. And so inadvertently, I did that. So yeah, it worked out. I like, remember how I said that luck played a part in what happened with me? I kind of stumbled on this thing, you know, and I ended up doing, because of my insecurity and fear of uncertainty, I ended up doing all the right things. You know, I saved aggressively when I was young. You know, I didn't spend money. You know, if people were to invite me out, like to McDonald's or to a bar or something, I would always keep my expenses low. You know, when everybody was buying, you know, $8 meals off the menu, I would get something off the dollar menu. We had the same experience, but I spent less, you know.
What's your dream now? What's your dream now, Paul? What's your dream? Tell me your dream.
I don't know. This goal, my original dream was just to hit 1 million by 40 and I'd feel much more secure. Now I guess the next goal, it's not really a dream. It's more just a goal. The next goal is to hit 3 million, so I can, which is what I've calculated is like, I asked my wife, because a lot of stuff I do is because of my wife. You know, we live here in LA because of my wife. She really likes the area, and family, and I like it too. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful place. Not downtown, but you know, the surrounding areas are beautiful. And I asked her how much she wanted to spend a month and how much she would feel comfortable with, and she said $10,000. I said, okay, well that's $3 million in investments that we need, and the less you spend and the more you save, the faster we can get there. Because she doesn't spend a lot, but she spends on certain items. Like she loves handbags, and I just can't fathom it. Like spending $3,000 on a bag. You know, it's just like,
just be grateful it's not shoes, Paul.
Yeah, or anything else. I am very grateful that her exorbitant expenses are limited to like 1 or 2 different items. But yeah, she's helped me. You know, she's my fortune kind of took off after I married her. I married her about here. You know, and it went up there, you know. Actually, no, I met her about here. You can see kind of like the inflection point here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I met her right about here, and then the network kind of took off.
So wait till you have kids, then your fortune's going to go times 10.
Think so?
I know so.
All right.
I went from 0 to 8 kids over the course of 10 years. And during that course of 10 years, I 10x'd my income.
Wow. Yeah.
In the beginning was not because I really wanted to. I could live on $30,000 a year and be happy. But then once I started having more kids, I realized, I don't know, I just got inspired to actually make money.
So it was the kids inspired you. Is that what it was? You felt responsible for making a lot of money and making a good life for yourself and your family? Or did they give you a spark of inspiration on how you could do it?
No, I think I felt like I really wanted to. I shifted from being this kind of frugal guy that can live on nothing
Mm-hmm.
to basically just kind of flipping the switch on basically screw it. You know what? I could make 10 million a year. So F that. I'm just going to do it. So some switch went off in my brain. It's like, you know, I could 10X what I'm doing without really working I could 10X what I'm making.
Without much more effort, right?
If I wanted to. I never really wanted to. And then I just decided, okay, you know what? Screw it. I want to 10X my income, and I want to 10X my joy level. So I want to be 10 times happier, make 10 times amount more money, and sleep 10 times more. So I just decided that's what I want to do. So yeah, the kids were that. I never needed to, but then I decided, okay, I need to now. So I know I can do it. So I just kind of flipped the switch on.
How'd you make your money? How'd you do the 10X, or what business are you in?
I read a lot. I spend about 80% of my time reading and researching.
Investment?
I've been in construction and real estate for about 20 years. Okay. Even now I spend like 8 hours a day just reading books.
Wow.
And studying
Audio
the
books,
market.
right?
And
yeah, Eric takes the opportunity anytime he drives to and from a job site, because he works in construction and real estate.
Yeah.
He listens to audiobooks, so he's always developing himself. When he goes out for walks, he listens.
I read a lot. This is my bookshelf.
Wow.
I just took it off behind my video calls because people were like freaking out on Zoom calls. Like, do you read all those books? Blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I really love research. I love research. That's it. I could spend 10 hours a day reading books on finance, on math, on statistics, on more finance, on more math, on more. I just love to read. So yeah, I just, one point I said, okay, I'm going to make money with it. Well, and my daughter's the same way. We probably have close to 1,500 books in our house.
Wow.
We just read books.
Well, just reading doesn't do anything. You can do paralysis by analysis, Eric. So
reading does a lot. You'd be surprised.
It depends on the book.
I know that,
on the material.
But your answer, how you made the money is by reading books, but that's not really the answer. What did you do with the knowledge after reading the books?
Invest.
Yeah.
90% of reading books is not doing stupid things and just waiting.
All right, real quick, everybody. So in keeping with the theme of not spending money, I'm going to end this call and restart it because I only have the free version of Zoom. So please join me back in 30 seconds and I'll see you there.
Oh, yeah. Can you send, we'd love to have the link to that budgeting template that you have. That's really awesome.
Sure. So I created just a tiny link that's, I shared the thing as a link in the chat if anyone wants it. And you'll have to have, is it Google Sheets? No, it's not. It's not Google Sheets. You can download it as Excel. All right. And you would get, here's the money file. You can download it. And I would request that you download the file instead of trying to edit it in here, like the instructions say. To begin, download this file at the top right of your browser right here. And then once you open it, come on now. I really need a new computer. This was top of the line when I got it, but it's just slowed down so much. All right, so this is the there's a video
got them on
here.
sale, Paul.
Huh?
They got them on sale at Walmart for $500. Screaming new laptop.
Really? Okay, 500. That might be a little high for me, but all right. So 0.5%, or what is it? 0.05%. So this is a video on how to use this file. Here's your expenses. You would just delete all this yellow stuff here. Anything yellow you can update. Leave the rest alone because it's formulas. figured I'd make it simple like that. So you have the same thing here. You have the same thing here. Anytime you add expenses here, you have to hit refresh because pivot tables in Excel, this is a pivot table and it doesn't refresh automatically. So you have to refresh to add the data. So just click that button after you add stuff. So for example, today I went to went to McDonald's. This is a Coke. And I spent $3 and so today I spent $3 and I don't know, 89 cents at McDonald's. And the category is food. So these are the only 4 things you need to put for every transaction. Just the date, the amount, a description of some kind, the store, whatever you want to put, and then the category. And the category really depends on what you're trying to track. Like I just track food, you know, but some people might want to track groceries versus restaurants, you know, all that stuff. And then you will put the same categories here, whatever category you want in here. And let's see. There's a financial overview, which looks a little different from what I had, but you can do your expected spending if you're trying to do a budget. So for example, your expected spending on food, weekly you spend, let's say $100, then it's gonna do the math for you. Or if you have like insurance, and you spent, why is it like that? Huh. Oh, what is this? Insurance. Okay, I don't know what's going on here, but all right. So that's supposed to be insurance right there. And let's say you pay, I don't know, $60 a month for your car insurance, and you pay $100 a month for your renter's insurance. Altogether, that'd be $8,200, and your total expenses is that. So if you're trying to budget, this is what you're what you can do.
Cool.
And then compare that to your actual spending. Like this will draw here. You can input whatever you think, whatever your expected not investments, your expected income is, and it'll add it all together here. And then the expenses will be drawn from what you put in your expenses tab here. So it'll get the average expense for the last like 3 months or something like that, average monthly expense. And then it'll tell you, like, based on your spending, how long it'll take to reach financial independence and the date. Just a bunch of other stuff here. Next is your investments. This is, you know, just a bunch of stuff you could do in here. This is a great thing I created. I also have a Google Sheets version. So if anyone wants to share this page with someone, I've helped people get out of debt using this because it kind of shows them how much they're paying in interest, how much if they just put a few more dollars towards their debt, how much quicker they could pay it off. So like this is an actual this is a person's actual debts that I worked with. They're gone now. The debts are gone now, but this is what they had. And so they had $88,000 in various loans, credit cards, personal loans, cars, and the overall interest rate was 9.63%, which is pretty high.
Sure is.
There's something called the rule of 72, and this is a quick mental calculation you can do. So if you want to know how long it'll take something to double, you divide the interest rate, you put the 72 divided by the interest rate. So if you have a 6% interest rate, 72 by 6 is 12. It'll take 12 years for that investment to double. So inflation is about 3%. Who can tell me how long it will take for prices to double at 3%? So 72 divided by 3 is
24.
That's right. So it'll take about 24 years to double. And you'll probably remember, you know, at the, what is it, 1995, right? Prices were about half what they are today. So that's a nifty mental calculation.
Rule of 72 is very valuable, isn't it?
It's not exactly, but it's close enough to where you can make decisions based on that. And what I showed them by this, I think their minimum payment, the interest only payment was $708. That's how much they were paying in interest. 9.63% of $88,000 is $708 a month. That's how much they were paying in interest. And so I said, okay, how much are you paying now? They're like, oh, maybe $800 a month between all the loans. I'm like, okay, it'll take you 22 and a half years to pay off, but let's say we just add, I don't know, $200. You think you can scrape together $200? Spend less on beer, spend less on you know, this or that. We'll make it $1,000 a month that you put towards your debt. Look at that, you just knocked off 10 years, you know? So showing people this really gets them thinking about that, you know? And so if the payoff goal is 10 years, 120 months, you'll need to make a payment of about $1,150 a month, you know? So if you want to pay it off in 60 months, you'll need to make $1,857 a month payments to pay it off. And your total interest will be that. Yeah. And then income, this is just another thing where you can put your income and to calculate the annual thing. And then this is kind of, this I really like because this is, I've seen the most, the biggest response from people about this. So it shows how much money you could have if you invested at different ages in life. So for example, let's say somebody is starting out with $500 and they contribute $500 a month to their 6,000. Okay, they contribute $500 a month to their investment, so like stocks and stuff. Now, historically, the stock market has averaged about 8%. So I'm using that as my calculation. And I like to say 2% for the annual contribution growth, meaning as time goes on, you make more money. Either you get promoted or you know, wage growth due to inflation, because companies give merit increases and also just like inflation adjusted increases. So I'm going to say 2%, which is lower than the historical inflation average of 3%. You know, so I'm being a little conservative here. So if anyone wants to continue raising their standard of living while still saving, you can do that. But somebody who starts at age 18 versus somebody who starts at 35, right? So the person who starts at 35 will have almost $1 million just saving $500 a month. But the person who starts at 18 will have 4 times that. So it really goes to show like how starting early is so important. But for those of you who are older, don't let that discourage you. You know, you have decades ahead of you potentially. And it took me 11 years to reach $1 million. You know, you could almost certainly do it in 20, you know, starting from zero. And better still if you have more. But let's say if this person starts contributing so the 401k contribution limit this year is $19,500. And let's say a person never invests anything else, just maxes out their 401k with $1,625 a month, which might be a little difficult for someone who's 18 years old, but just, you know, bear with me for the sake of argument, right? Somebody who starts at 35 doing that will have $3.2 million at 65, but the person who started at 18 will have $13 million at 65. But all, you know, all else equal, you know, assuming the same rate of return. So compound interest is pretty amazing. Yeah, and even if you just do the Roth IRA, $500 a month because the limit is 600 or 6,000 or 7,000 if you're above 50, you'll still be a millionaire. You know, even if you start at 35 and multi-millionaire if you start at 18. So that's just $500. You know, assuming you start making more money, you can do what I did. You know, put away 30,000 a year. So yeah.
Yeah, it amazes me how much people are stuck in the whole idea of 9 to 5 for savings in terms of just saving a percentage of their 9 to 5. Whereas if you had just one job you did, let's say 5 hours a week or 10 hours a week, like on a Saturday, and you just dedicated every Saturday 10 hours to research or data analyst or even an internship for a really good data company, and then you just put all that money into savings, at the end of 2 years, you could quit your 9 to 5 job just based upon an internship at a really good data analyst company. I mean, I had 5 different internships during COVID.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
just because I wanted to work for the company, and I just figured out a way to get an internship at a company, and they gave me the internship, and basically they opened up all their data to me. I mean, because I was an intern and my
Oh,
job.
this is that real estate company you were telling me
Oh,
about,
this was for a lending company
Mhm.
that worked with private investors nationwide. So I did an intern. I didn't tell you about this job, but
You stole company secrets, huh?
no,
Oh,
they
okay.
gave it to me, and my job was to analyze it for them. So
Mhm.
I got paid to basically analyze bank statements for general contractors all over the state of California and drive to their job site. I got paid to be a data analyst. They didn't know that. They thought I was an idiot. They didn't ask me, but I said, oh, so I would just email them. Oh, can you send me the financials for this project? Okay. Can you send me the blueprints for this? Because that's industry standard is if I'm going to go to a job site to inspect a construction project, a 55 unit construction project, I'm supposed to have the spreadsheets and the data analyst for the construction project and the projected revenue and the projected income and debt to income ratio, everything. So they just send me all the data for the whole project. And it's like, if you're a data guy, it's like, wow, it's
Mhm.
it's like having an MBA course that they're paying you for.
Yeah.
So I was like,
can't put a
yeah,
price
it's
on
amazing.
experience.
So I'm going off on math. I'm reading this book for fun today. Statistical consequences of fat tails, just for fun.
Yeah,
Sorry.
definitely. But I kind of cling to my 9-to-5 job, but that's only because I need stability. You know, I'm grinding away.
But your brain's not there. I know your brain's in your spreadsheet all day.
It's not there.
You know, you're throwing your laptops.
I'm so over this job. I just can't find another one. And I've tried, believe me, but I'm gonna wait till July because I have a vacation coming up. My wife and I are going to Oklahoma to visit her family.
Yep.
And I don't want to start a new job and then ask for a week off. So I'm gonna wait to start looking again until after the vacation. Or maybe
I'll hire you tomorrow, Paul.
all right, let's do it.
You get 50% of all revenue that you bring in based upon your statistical analysis.
Sales.
Oh my goodness.
Sales.
No, it's not sales.
Oh no, okay.
It's not sales.
Okay.
It's looking at spreadsheets all day long.
Well,
I could see enough spreadsheets you would throw up.
How do you bring in revenue?
That's another conversation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll talk about this offline.
That's a secret.
Well, it's not a secret. It's yeah, it's very easy. Very easy.
Maybe we can put this. We have 12 minutes left because I want to keep the.
Okay, no problem.
I want to keep the time. I want to keep the time like so people.
All I'll say is this: what you're doing is a very skilled thing to do. To pull up a spreadsheet and to analyze the data is a skill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that people pay for. That's all I'm going to say. Do I get an
you.
amen from anybody?
You can charge $250, $500 an hour, right, Eric?
Say again?
You can charge whatever you want. It's a free.
You can charge $250, $500 an hour.
People can pay you. You could have an internship at a job that they're billing out at $200 an hour, and they'll pay you $25 an hour.
Wow.
$25 an hour, and they'll pay you to do that all day long, and they'll bill out to their customer $200 an hour. That's called consulting.
Win-win.
Yeah.
Everybody
That's
wins.
what I do.
I don't know if it's win-win, I guess.
Well, I mean, for
Somebody's
someone
winning.
who's looking for a job, you know,
Yeah.
do something on the side. That's not bad.
But the data, if you have a company where the data is really interesting, that you love the data, then it's really not work.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Do find something you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Right. Who said that?
You said that.
No. Somebody, it's like a
someone
quote, Ben
famous.
Franklin or Warren Buffett or Ben Graham or somebody.
Sam Zell said it.
I think it was Ho Chi Minh.
Ho Chi Minh. Peter's depressed.
I don't think so.
No, Zig Ziglar said that.
Oh, Zig Ziglar. That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
I thought it was Paul Steffen said that.
Well, a lot of people said it. I'm one of them, I guess. Okay, so let me finish this thing off real quick. So I have 3 more calculators here. And this is just simple ones like, this is just the 4% rule. So if your current investments are $1 million, you could withdraw $3,300 a month. If you wanted to know how much you need to save to get a certain amount of money every month, like for example, if you currently have $10,000 and you want to retire in 30 years and you're hoping for $3,500 a month in inflation adjusted dollars, in current dollars, you have to save $631 a month to achieve that. And then this, the last calculator is, you know, what will my net worth be? You have this many years, your current investments, and how much you save annually. So for me, let's say I have 1 million. It's actually 1,005,000 or something like that. It's actually been, I hit $1 million back in January, and it's been bouncing back and forth, kind of like teasing me. Last week it dropped to like 960 or something like that. But it's back over 1 million, so I can say I'm actually a millionaire. Million
So you
years.
put million years, you're not
Yeah,
gonna
no,
live that
not a
long.
million years. So let's say I want to retire in, or let's say 10 years. What will my net worth be? Current investments, $1 million. Annual savings, not 10 million, I wish. Annual savings, I'm saving, because I'm maxing out my 401k and my IRA and my wife's IRA and an HSA. So that would be 19,500 plus 12,000 plus 7,200. Or that's the goal anyway. So 38,000. I'm gonna put. Oh man, that seems high. I've been doing it by the seat of my pants, but yeah. So in 10 years, I'll have 2.7 million based on my savings rate and current things. But 2.7 million won't be worth 2.7 million in 10 years. In 10 years, it'll be worth about 2.1 million in today's money. So yeah, just something to consider. And that is the end of this sheet. I'm going to put it in the chat again for, actually, I'm just going to type it here if anyone wants to copy it. So make this big so everyone can see it. So the website or the link you can get this file at is tiny.cc/CEIA5Y. And that's where you can download this file. Last thing I wanted to show you. Does everyone see the little green thing in the corner of my screen there? Right here. That is my, oh, sorry. Can everyone see me?
Yeah.
Maybe stop sharing for a second. And then we'll see
Oh,
your-
yeah, I'll stop sharing. Okay, so do you guys see my the link here I have on my
Dollarbills.com.
dollarbills.com? That is my website. I created it, I think, in January, but let me show you guys something. So dollarbills.com. So I'm trying to make it like a one-stop shop. This is the website. You could use it on your phone or on the thing, but you have to click on there's these 3 lines. Oh, shoot. I need to start sharing again. I'm sorry. Let's see. Share screen. Okay, so this is my website right here, dollarbills, bilz.com. And here you can see the home kind of talks a little bit about me. And I also give, if anyone's interested, I do financial coaching sessions for $95. So I go through your debts, expenses. We talk about all kinds of stuff. I mean, I'm not allowed to, because I don't have a license, I'm not allowed to give investment advice, but I'll dance around the topic and give you the information you need. And here is so there's the home, there's the financial coaching part where, you know, just talking about it on what people say. And then here's the blog. So I wrote, I've written a bunch of stuff over the years, if anyone's interested in checking it out. And then there's the About Me, if anyone cares to read it, right here. And then there's resources. And so the money file is right there at the top. on the resources. So everything that I share here is on this website, dollarbills.com. So right here, resources. And so the debt calculator that I said gets people started on getting out of debt is a Google Sheets version. So anyone can use it if you have a Google account. And then there's the investment calculators. I also turned it into a Google Sheet. I have a YouTube channel called Financial Stuff. I have like 6-7 videos or something. It's not really prolific, but it's there. And I have a Facebook group if anyone who is not on yet that wants to join. It's also called Financial Stuff. And these are all links, so you can click on them to get there. All right, so we have
Okay, cool.
5 minutes. Any questions?
When are you gonna buy your a wife a red dress?
The red dress. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to say when I'm a millionaire, but I can't. That's no longer an excuse. Yeah. Well, I'll.
Let you.
We'll
To
have
clue you guys in. I saw Paul's website. And I said you need a picture of your wife on there with a red dress. So
Yeah.
so when guys look at your website, they want to see if you have a picture with your wife in a red dress. And then when women look at your website, they want to see if you bought your wife the red dress.
Are you referring to this picture right here, or the or a different?
Yeah,
one?
I think it'd be nice. Just a James Bond picture of you and your wife. You know, you in your suit and your wife in the red dress.
Yeah, I'll get that done. I think so. We're having our fifth anniversary next year, and she wants to do a whole thing. So maybe I'll just get it then.
Nice.
Cool.
I'll have to get my wife a red dress now since I'm haranguing you.
Yeah. So the last 2 things I want to leave you guys with is this picture right here. It's important enough to me that I posted it on the thing on the website. The best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, and the second best time is now. So many times when there's probably a pang of like jealousy and despair when somebody says, "Oh, I'm a millionaire," you know, like, why wasn't I able to accomplish this? You know, I've experienced the same thing. Whenever I find somebody has more money than me, I'm also a little jealous, you know. That's just part of the human condition. But sure, the best time to have planted a tree is 20 years ago, but you can't go back. The only thing you can do is go from here, right? What you do for the future. You know, the past doesn't really matter. What matters is what you do for the future. So, you know, second best time to invest is now. Get started, you know, start saving, start investing, get out of debt, all that stuff. And then the second one is over here in my at the top of my screen in the picture. It's remember, it's never about the money, it's about the freedom. So many people want to get rich or want to have money so they can buy stuff. But me, I was able to forego all that, and as a result, I am now moderately wealthy. So yeah, it's really about, it was always about the freedom for me, you know, freedom from a toxic work environment. You know, I may have to put up with it for a few more years, but I'm definitely getting out a lot earlier than most, right? So I'm fine redlining it for a little bit. And I believe that is it. So we have 2 minutes.
Wow, great job. Thank you.
That was
Right.
great. Paul, do you do financial analysis, like, you know, an hour for free or for $99, you know?
Yeah,
what
I
kind
do.
of spectrum?
You mean the financial coaching sessions?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I basically get it. It's not an hour. It'll go anywhere from an hour to 3 hours of what people need. On average, it's been about 2 hours. But it's not. That's why I say it's not by the hour. I want people to feel comfortable that they're getting what they pay for. You know, you give me $95 and I run through all your stuff and I make sure you're on good footing. That's basically what it is, which is a heck of a lot cheaper than a lot of other financial coaches. So, you know, I figure because it's not, for me, it's not about the money. It's, you know, I like this stuff. I like helping people, and the type of people I'm trying to help are not people who have $2,500 to give a financial advisor. You know, I'm trying to help people on the lower end of the the income spectrum. But it's important for me to charge because people don't take free advice seriously. I've tried it. Like I've coached so many people for free, and they didn't take my advice. But then when I started charging people, they're like, oh, this is money. You know, I have to actually get my money's worth. So I actually do something about it. So
Yeah, you learn that that's a, if they don't have skin in the game, they'll waste their time and your time.
precisely.
So,
It's like
yeah.
it's like playing poker without any money. You know, you're not
Yeah.
your heart's not in it, right? So I'm gonna stop recording now. Thank you everybody for joining, and